I think we spend a lot of time putting a lot of like caveats and disclaimers in the mouth of Jesus. And he's like, look, you have access to the glory of God now. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Like, it's not someday, it's here, it's right now. You can have access to this. So many people that just live with a sense of lack, live with a sense of scarcity, as if like the best that God could do with them is try to remove some like guilt off of their mind and give them like a religious experience once a week. If you entrust yourself to God, that he will like satisfy the deepest longings of your heart. Those who delight themselves in the Lord, he will give them the desires of your heart. And I used to always read that thinking it's like, okay, if you love God, he gives you whatever you want. But I actually think if you so delight in God, that your desires, the very wiring and networking of your heart and your mind become in sync with the desires in the heart of God. I just read the words of Paul in Ephesians chapter 3, that he's praying over this church that they would be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. When you read verses like that and you're like, what does that even mean? That there is a fullness of God that we can experience. And Jesus in John 17 prays that the glory that he experienced with the Father before the creation of the world would be in the people that follow him. The eternal glory of God can live within the spirit of a person. Genesis 1, God creates human beings. He breathes his very presence into them, and he bestows them with honor to rule and reign on the earth. And then like it's all through the scriptures. Moses in Exodus chapter 33 sees God, deliver the people out of Egypt and all this stuff, and he sees all these miracles. At the end of the day, he looks in the face of God and he says, God, show me your glory. It's like, Moses, you've already seen like a lot of good stuff and you're saying, show me your glory. And I think that what he understands is that there's more. There's more available. And I think I'm just crazy enough to believe that when the Bible says something, that it could be true. And that Jesus, through like his death on the cross, his resurrection, like he basically takes our deficit and then gives us a life of resurrection on the other side. And it's like, how many people just live as slaves to the culture around, live as slaves to other people's opinions of them, just all of the narratives of our world. And it's like, there's a whole way to exist in this world that is tasting and seeing the glory of God.